Skeena Bulkley Valley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We all remember when this Prime Minister, hand on heart, looked longingly into the eyes of Canadians and promised them all that he'd be different. He wasn't like the old Liberal Party, promising anything to get elected, but then once in, betraying that very promise. Whatever happened to that guy? We hardly even got to know him. All the evidence shows that proportional representation not only ensures that every vote counts, it helps elect more women and encourages parties to work together in the national interest. So when will he finally stop all the fear-mongering and admit what everybody knows to be true, that the only reason he broke his promise to Canadians on electoral reform because it wasn't in the interest of the Liberal Party?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we took this issue very seriously, consulted broadly with Canadians, talked about this issue, saw the extent to which there are very many strongly held divergent views on this issue. We worked very hard on this, but it's clear there is no consensus, there is no responsible path forward, and that is the decision that we made.
The Honourable Member for Skeena Bulkley Valley.
You know, you'd think the Prime Minister would at least have the decency to blush when he's breaking his promise to Canadians so blatantly, and he could at least take that slightly smug look off his face, because the way I was raised, Mr. Speaker, that when someone breaks their word to Canadians, they find the courage to apologize, which this Prime Minister is yet to do. Just 8 weeks ago, I'll quote the Prime Minister, "I make promises because I believe in them," and on consensus, he said this, "I've heard loudly and clearly that Canadians want a better system of governance." After such obvious deception, how can anyone believe this Prime Minister ever again?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians want improvement in their democracy, absolutely, and that's why we're moving forward on many things to repeal sections of the Unfair Elections Act brought in by the previous government, why we're making sure that we're protecting from cybersecurity attacks, why we're moving forward in many ways to improve our democracy. But on changing the way we vote in elections, it is clear there was no consensus. There are strongly held, highly divergent views. There was no responsible way to move forward, and so we are looking for other ways to improve our democracy.
Honorable député de Rosemont, qui